Hi, welcome back to the Colorblind Architect Podcast. I'm your host, David. And you are definitely in need of doing a vlog entry. When your family tells you, would you just go make a vlog? Alright, so today I want to talk about incompetence. We are surrounded in a world of incompetence. It is amazing how many people are incompetent at their jobs, especially people who work at government institutions, governments, agencies, any kind of government-supported facility. It is amazing how much incompetence ensues when the government gets involved. So the example I want to give is one that's kind of personal to me because I'm somebody who loves to go swimming as a form of exercise. Lap swimming is it's such a wonderful cardiovascular exercise. It also builds your muscles. It's also extremely therapeutic and relaxing. And so I'm headed up to the local rec center, which is a government-owned facility. And why do we go there? Because there's no non-government owned swimming facilities in the town where I live. Why? Because they have this huge one that was built by the taxpayers right here. So here I am. I've been paying taxes for this facility for years. And in addition to paying taxes for this facility, I also have to pay a monthly membership fee in order to be able to go use the facility that I've already been paying for in my taxes. Okay? So, strike number one right there. I'm already angry that I'm having to pay twice for the same facility. Now, I get it. Usage fees make sense on a facility that not everybody uses. I get it. I understand that. The problem that I have with it is that they basically put out of business anybody else who tries to put up some kind of swimming facility or other fitness business, because how are you supposed to compete with a government subsidized building, which building is also way better than any building that a private facility would be able to build, because a private facility is not going to be able to make the cost metrics work. It's a government sinkhole. They just put money into it. Our local government puts money into it. So that's one of the problems that I have with this place. Now, granted, I also love the facility in the fact that it's there. I'm able to cheaply go swimming or ice skating. It's wonderful in that regard. But again, there's a huge drawback. And so this isn't necessarily an argument in favor or against having a government-owned recreation center. I think there's a lot of reasons to have a government-owned recreational facility. In this case, this building is also heavily used by the local schools especially for the swim meets, and also the junior high, which is like right next door to it. They use it for their gym, which makes sense. Okay, you're saving tax dollars by having a centralized facility for multiple schools to be able to use, rather than just having a facility on each school. That part of it makes sense. Now, the part that doesn't make sense is the ineptitude of the management of this facility. And by ineptitude, I'm trying to be kind because I know that some of them are probably related to somebody who may at some point watch this video. I don't want to cause any problems for neighbors and friends who might take this personally. However, at the same time, it is so irritating when you go to swim laps and the website see, the website for the facility has the schedule that explains when you can go, okay? And it says, okay, this time to this time you can go swim laps. So I arrived there with some of my children because we're going to swim laps. And my youngest child, I was also going to work on swim skills with her, help her build her skills. So we get in there, and immediately the person at the gate says, oh, well, the pool doesn't open up until such and such a time. I'm like, well, that's not what the website says. The website says that the lap swimming is from this time until this time. And no joke, this was the response. The response was, well, we've had signs up this whole week. Wait a second. You're talking about signs in the facility? You're talking about signs in the facility. Did you have it on the website, perhaps? I even asked that. Did you have that on the website? They said, no, we had the signs up in the facility. And I said, are those signs at my house where I'm looking online to check the schedule to make sure that I can come and swim? No joke. They had no answer to this. And I'm like, how do you not think to provide a posting on the website so that those who do not come daily do not waste their time driving over to come into the facility to finally see the sign and go, oh, well, I guess I just wasted 20 minutes of my day. No, they can't bother doing that. And what really irritates me is this isn't the only incompetence that happens here. So at this same facility, they also have these really odd policies that just boggle my mind. Like, for example, one of the policies is you can't use the treadmill for more than 30 minutes. Okay. Another policy that they have is you have to run on the outside track where the stair arrives. So you basically have to cross the path of people running in order to get over to the track portion where you can walk. But in the meantime, you have to walk over to find a hook for your coat or whatever. And it's like, that's kind of an odd thing too. There's all kinds of these really odd things there that just really irritate me. Another one is like, they have these hours where on Fridays and Saturdays they close down early so that they can hold special events, right? They can rent the facility out. And yet, because of COVID, they haven't been having any of these special events, and yet they still hold the hours as though they are having the special events. And it's like, breathe. Okay, and then, to make matters worse, like I said, the main reason why I have a membership there is because it's the only place within 10 miles to be able to go swim laps. And when you go there, they have the lanes marked off. They have hours that are saying this is the lap swim time. You can come between these hours for lap swimming. But then you'll arrive and they'll have swim lessons and swim teams that will be using those lanes that are supposed to be open for patrons at the time when patrons are supposed to be able to go and swim. And I'm thinking, I just want to swim some laps. Is it that hard? Is it that hard to provide, hey, here you go. Here are lap lanes. Okay, let me make it even worse. Even worse. Okay, so it's not that they only have one lap pool. Okay, they actually have two. Where's the other lap pool? The other lap pool is in the recreation room. The recreation pool has a lazy river, a nice slide. It looks great and all. Well, attached to that, they have a 25-yard lap pool. They never actually have the lane ropes in there. And so from the hours of 2 until 6, they close off the lap pool so that the high schools can use it for their swim teams. Okay, that makes sense. Okay, they need time. But they never put the lap lanes into the recreation pool. Instead, they just keep like little basketball hoops up in the lap pool so that kids can shoot basketball in the pool that's supposed to be the secondary lap pool for when the high school is in the competition pool. And so, I know, I'm getting a little bit angry, a little bit annoyed. But what do I say? What do I say here? I mean, the fact of the matter is it's incompetence on display. They don't seem to give a crap about the paying taxpayer customers, okay? Like I said, the facility is supported through two means. One, through local property taxes and sales taxes. Two, through usage fees through membership. Okay? Now, last time I checked, not a single one of those kids using the facility at these special hours are taxpayers. It's their parents who are taxpayers, but also people like me who are taxpayers and also paying customers. And my thought is, why am I, someone who is paying for this facility to exist, not allowed to use the damn pool? I get it. I know. I just need to conform to the hours that... But wait a second. I try to conform to the hours. And yet, they keep changing the schedule without posting it on the website, so I never know when the hell I can actually use the facility. So, anyways, in the broader context, I think we all have instances like this in our local governments, in our local communities, in our own states, in our federal government. Government incompetence is all over the place. And look, it's easy to understand when incompetence happens at a private business, okay? Because if it happens there, you just go to a competitor. Great. But when it happens with a government facility or a government institution, there is no recourse. There is no redress of grievances because, I mean, what are you going to do? Sue the government? Yeah, you could, but then you're going to waste tons of money suing the government. It's going to take a lot of time. What else? Are you going to protest the government? Okay, well, you could do that, but that's a huge waste of time. So when there's government incompetence, most of the time, there's no redress of grievance. You just kind of tolerate it. It's like the DMV. What are you going to do? Complain? It's not going to help you. If you complain about the DMV, what do? They're just going to kick you out and not give you the license. Well, how's that fair? Well, what do you know? So, I think it's a problem that I don't know if you can really answer. I don't know if you can answer this problem. Other than, God, we need to teach our kids better. We need to teach our kids to be responsible, to be smart, to put effort in. Because ultimately it's the future. That's the only thing that we can affect. We can't change the present. We can try, but we're not going to be able to fix these problems on a short-term basis. We have to do it by raising up a better generation than our own. And I have to admit, I'm not proud of my own generation because my own generation seems to be a bunch of morons. Then again, that could also just be the perspective based on looking at everybody seemingly just jumping off the cliff of insanity. And it just seems like society isn't getting better, which it should be. It should be getting better. We should be constantly striving for improvement, striving for bettering ourselves. And yet, what do? We engage in this infantile arguments over just the most stupid things. Oh, I want blue team to win. I want red team to win. Oh, I want no regulation whatsoever. No, I want 100% regulation and communism. It's like, okay, can we have something in the middle? Can we maybe go, okay, we understand that we need some government services. We need some effort on the part of government to correct the wrongs that happen as a result of unfettered market economies. Because unfettered market economies eventually lead to oligarchies. It's just a simple fact. But on the flip side, the people who are arguing for the regulation, they don't seem to understand that when you let a government take too much power unto itself, yes, that government can do more things for the people, but that power corrupts. And as the power corrupts, it makes everything worse. So, what is the solution? Well, ironically, that was already figured out, 245 years ago? Yeah, 245 years ago. It was figured out then. And it was further refined in 1787 with the Constitution. The idea of a balance of power. It's critical to balancing the needs of individual liberty with the need of collectivization. And yet there's always this argument between collectivization and individual liberty. It's not 100% on either side. And the argument that we keep having over and over and over again between the left and the right is exactly this issue. Now, how does this relate to the rec center? Well, honestly, that one's just government incompetency. Maybe the solution there is there needs to be a community council. And that community council then, governs policies. And so kind of like a board of directors for a business, but make them elected, an elected board of over this rec center. Maybe that's the solution. Now, do I think that maybe it would be better to have it privatized? Maybe. I would. The problem with that is, would there actually be a business case for a facility that has an ice skating rink and a competition swimming pool, along with stadium seating for that competition swimming pool and stadium seating for that ice rink? It's probably not going to happen in a private facility unless there is a sufficient population base. And if you have a community that wants to have this as a benefit to the community, and again, it's primarily so that, yes, we do want the kids to be able to have these opportunities, to be able to do youth sports. I understand that. But we also need to make it so that the adults who are paying for it can also use it. The paying customers should also be able to use it and not have to twist and contort their lives around a schedule that's being made by people who don't actually seem to care one bit. So maybe that's the solution. And, maybe another solution is I just need to stop whining about it and start a private business operating a swimming pool at a private facility. Maybe. I don't have the means to do that, but it could be a potential solution. So, again, what's the point of this vlog entry? Yeah, I'm kind of just whining and moaning, but hopefully the point that I made is actually helping somehow. I feel sometimes like I am going crazy day by day as I just see the world flying off a cliff. And I'm just like, wait, am I crazy or is everybody else crazy? Because I sure feels like everybody else is crazy and not me. But, when everybody else is crazy and you're the only sane one, you do start to ask yourself that question of, wait, mate, is it me? I don't know. But with that, I'm going to close this one out, and hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did, if you're watching this on YouTube, hit the like button. If you're watching it on Rumble, give me a rumble, great. And if you didn't like it, sure, pop a line in the comments and tell me why. Ultimately, I don't really care, though, because I'm doing this for me, not for you. I'm just sharing it with you because I need to vent to somebody, and you're the idiot watching this, listening to me just vent. So, I don't mean to call you an idiot, I guess. Actually, thank you for taking time to watch the video. But sometimes I can be a little bit angry and grouchy. And yeah, that's part of the joy of being a middle-aged man, is finding that grumpy old man inside of you and letting him have a voice. With that, I close out. I'm the Colorblind Architect. Peace out.